Hey there, how's it going? So you want to edit quicker in Premiere Pro. Maybe you don't use that and you want to start using it, maybe you use something else. Either way, the tips I share with you in this should work with other editors, so let's get straight to it. Okay, so what we have here is a gaming video that I've just dragged into the video editor, and I'm going to show you how I edit quickly. For the most part, like when you're playing games, there's a few buttons that you need to know, and these buttons are the Alt and Shift, sometimes Control. Whenever I edit, I almost always keep my fingers on these buttons. The other two buttons I keep my fingers on are Q and W. Now what Q and W do is, let's say I take this over to here. Now I'll press Q and that will cut everything from this point backwards. So I'll press Q and there we go, it's chopped all that off. Okay, so I've just undone that. Now, if you actually want to benefit from this video, you're gonna have to watch it again or take notes. That really helps, trust me. So now what I'll do is I'll go into the keyboard shortcuts and they are right here. Q and W, ripple trim previous edit to playhead, ripple trim next edit to playhead. So basically that'll just ripple trim backwards and that'll ripple trim forwards. The other shortcut that you want to add, this is a custom keyboard. So your keyboard right now will probably look like this. If you haven't customized it, it'll be on the Adobe Premiere Pro default keyboard. Q and W are already set. So Q and W are the main ones that I use. That is apart from Shift, Control and Alt, which I use now and then, but that is for various shortcuts, which I'll show you. Now the other key that I've customized is D. So if you go here and type Add, Edit, then you click on this, you get rid of that, cross that out. Now it does bring up this warning right here, but I don't use this, so I just press OK. And what that will allow you to do is cut, when you press D, wherever the playhead is. See how quick that is? Now let's say I'm actually listening to myself talking here when I'm editing, which I'm not. So what I would do is I'd make a cut there, and then I go to the next bit where I'm talking, and then I'd press Q, and look, it's gotten rid of that little gap. So I'll do that again. This right here is where I start talking. So I put the playhead there, press D, and then take it back here, and I can press W. Or if I go here to where I've stopped talking, press D, and take it to where I start talking, and then press Q, it's deleted everything before the playhead. So I'll zoom in on the playhead, and this is where I press Alt, and I use the wheel on the mouse, and I can open up the waveform like this, and you can see it better. So okay, let's say I want to do the same over here. I can press D there, take it to where I start talking again, and then press Q. Or I can go here where I start talking, press D, go back to where I've stopped talking, and then press W. Doing this over a certain amount of time, you sort of become used to it, and this saves so much time. It is insane. And this is just one of these shortcuts that you can use. So, and also completely by accident, because I've showed you the keyboard shortcut thing and I've sort of accidentally customized it again, I've deleted my shortcuts. So I'm gonna have to go through the keyboard shortcuts and reassign my shortcuts, which is I guess convenient for you because now you'll be able to see what I do. So let's go back to the keyboard shortcuts, and there's a few more that I'm going to add. One of them will be, let's say you've got a separate audio recording. So just then what I did was I pressed Alt and I selected the waveform and then dragged it down, and what that does is it duplicates it. So that is another function of using the Alt button. And right now I'm going to press Control and X, and that'll get rid of that. So let's say this one right here is a separate audio recording, and we've recorded this using another source. So we want to synchronize these two. Now normally what you do is you go like this, select them both, and then you go to synchronize, click on that, click on this, and then press OK. And then once you synchronize them, they will obviously, you know, be lined up and stuff. What you would then do is select them, right click, and then unlink to unlink all of them, and then link again, and that will link all of them. So that there is another shortcut I'm going to add for synchronizing and linking. So let's go back to the shortcuts. And so the synchronize shortcut, click on F11 and then type in sync, and we have synchronize here. What you can do is just drag the button down and drop it there, and now F11 is going to be used as the synchronize. And then for the link, we'll type link, This is the link. We'll cross this off and then drag F12 over to link, and that is now link. I'll just show you how they work now. So these are the ones that we want to synchronize now. So synchronize is F11, F11, and there you go, straight away. Synchronize, and I'm not going to go through that because it is fine. And then what you can do is F12 to link, which is actually unlink as well. So if I press that, now they're unlinked, and then I press it again after I selected them, and now they are linked. And you can see that by this little V symbol that's popped up. And back to these shortcuts. Now I need to add Shift and X as ripple delete. So ripple delete. So I'm going to cross that off and then just click it and then press Shift and X. And now that is the shortcut. And now what Shift and X will do is, let's say we're going through this again. So I'm going to press D. We don't want this bit in between here. So now you can just go like this and Shift and X. And that'll bring everything towards the playhead. So normally what would happen is if you were to do that, you would end up with a gap. So D, D, and then you'd control an X. And then you'd have to ripple edit. You see how there's a gap here as well. It works on this. So you select that and you press Shift and X, and there you go. So this is how I edit really quickly. So it's fairly straightforward. These shortcuts really help. So if you want to go through this video again, go through it again. But take notes, write it down on a piece of paper. Keep it by your side when you come to editing. You can use these shortcuts. I use the same on DaVinci Resolve whenever I jump into that. With FL Studio, the Control, Alt and Shift buttons are used like 99% of the time. So when it comes down to it, workflow is everything. Editing style is something else. That is more creativity based. So, if you are lacking in the creativity area, then you're going to find it a little more difficult to sort of do the creative things, obviously. But with a bit of practice and a bit of influence from other artists and other videos, music videos and even movies and, art, I guess, is more sort of person specific. Some people are not really arty. Some, everybody's got their area of expertise. Even if you're bad at even if your creativity isn't all that, you're probably better at something else than somebody with a lot of creativity. So don't even worry about it. Just practice is the main thing. And if you have a vision for something, even if you're, say, making music, FL Studio, if you know the program you're using, the DAW, the video editor, the Photoshop, if you can imagine what it is you want your end result to be, and you're fluent in the program you're using, eventually you will be able to create what you're imagining. So don't worry about it. Become fluent in the program you want to use, and everything else will fall into place. I'm just trying to think if there are any other shortcuts that I use. So right now, basically, I use Alt and the wheel mouse to go in and out like this. Alt works on these as well. Alt and the wheel mouse. Control and wheel mouse does nothing. Wheel mouse alone obviously does this. Shift and the wheel mouse sort of increases the zoom on all of the timelines that you select rather than individually like Alt. So Alt will zoom in on the specific timelines or zoom out, and Shift will increase the size of all of them. What else is there that I do? For the most part, that is just about it, really. That will increase your workflow like dramatically. So Control W, D, ripple delete, which is Shift and X, which you've got to assign as a shortcut as well. Oh yeah, there's what you can do is say, when you start off with Premiere Pro, when you import your footage, everything sort of looks like this. And what I did then was I pressed Shift and dash. It is next to the plus, or I guess it's minus. So you have the numbers at the top of the keyboard. You have 0 next to the 0. There is a minus sign, and then you got a plus. So if you press Shift and plus, that will maximize all of these. And if you press Shift and minus, then that'll minimize them. So that is another shortcut. I think that is about it for the most part. I thought I'd make this a quick video, so if there is anything else that you wanted to know about editing in Premiere Pro, or even maybe something else, Photoshop, FL Studio, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to help you with a video, or if not, if it's a simple answer, then I'll probably just answer you in the comments. So yeah, I just wanted to make this a quick video because I was sitting down to edit, and I hope this helped. Rewatch it, take some notes, let me know in the comments if you want any help, and I'll see you next time.